If you don't know who I am, my name's Tim Grimes, and I give SP advice where most of the SP coaches' advice ends. So buckle up. Today I'm going to be reading from The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, as we like to call him affectionately, Joey. We're still reading from the chapter called The Subconscious Mind and Marital Problems. I'm going to put a link below in the description to the entirety of this chapter that we're reading from. This is a free course. I suggest you watch all the videos. We're going over a ton of stuff. This is an amazing chapter that's going to help you manifest your SP. Now, your real SP that you're manifesting, of course, is yourself. That's what we always talk about. If you're wanting more of that kind of hard-hitting advice and want help, my creative partner, Marvin Daniels, and myself are still offering free consultations to see if we can help you. We'll talk to you for about a half an hour and give you some pointers. Fill out the questionnaire also in the description below if you'd like to arrange a free consultation with us. This, I have a feeling, is going to be a somewhat long video. I got a lot to read, but we'll see. Maybe I will peter out and we'll only read part of it. The next section in this chapter is called No Need for Third Mistake. This is the kind of stuff that Marvin and I see all the time. Marvin's been seeing it for years. Before I did more SP coaching with Marvin, I wasn't aware of it, and I'm very surprised actually, but I'm no longer surprised because we see it so often. And that is that people repeat their mistakes in relationships over and over again and do not learn from them. And unfortunately, a lot of times, traditional SP advice doesn't help them learn. Just doing SATs or robotic affirmations doesn't actually help them learn and change and correct their past mistakes. This is what Murphy's going to be talking about brilliantly in this passage. So he writes, recently a teacher said to me, I have had 3 husbands, and all 3 have been passive, submissive, and dependent on me to make all decisions and govern everything. Why do I attract such type of men? I asked her whether she had known that her second husband was the effeminate type. She replied, of course not. Had I known, I would not have married him. Apparently, she had not learned anything from the first mistake. The trouble was with her own personality makeup. She was very masculine, domineering, and unconsciously wanted someone who would be submissive and passive so that she could play the dominant role. All this was unconscious motivation, and her subconscious picture attracted to her what she subjectively wanted. She had to learn to break the pattern by adopting the right prayer process. So yeah, this is, again, something I just wasn't aware of. Marvin, was like, listen, we see this a lot, and then we started seeing it when we were talking to people and then coaching people. There are many more women, it seems like, these days than you would expect, who want to be feminine, from outward appearances seem very feminine, but their behavior is very domineering, and very much they feel like they have to lead and take charge in a relationship, even though they don't really want that from a relationship. In part, this is because they've been taught growing up that, women can now get ahead just as much as men. It's good to have a high-paying job and to have all this status. And a lot of roles which were previously occupied primarily by men are now occupied equally or about equally by both genders. And that in many ways is a great thing, but what you see alongside that is a lot of women who feel like they have to be masculine in terms of their energy in the workplace and in other aspects of their life, and they're unable to seed that masculine energy when it comes to a relationship because they really want to sink into their femininity when it comes to a relationship. They want to be wooed. They want to be taken in a way, swept away off their feet. And that's more of a feminine energy that they want to actualize, and they're unable to do that with the romantic partners they have because they're stuck being masculine a lot the rest of the day or the rest of their life. This is something that has to be corrected and acknowledged. How we can correct it is by changing how we think about it. That's what Murphy's talking about. And the way we change how we think about it, first of all, is we become aware of it. Like, here Joey said, listen, are you aware of what you were doing? Did you know that your second husband was effeminate? And she said, basically, no, I had no idea. Of course not. Had I known, I would not have married him. Again, in this, of course, normal disclaimer, this goes for both male, females. When I say masculine and feminine energy, I'm not trying to make these grand gender pronouncements. We're just trying to be pragmatically helpful here, guys, right? But a lot of the time, there are women who want to be in their feminine energy and feel like they cannot be. And they never acknowledge it. And they have romantic issues throughout their life, or they end up to be in their 40s or 50s, and they got the high power job, they have the money, but they never got the partner, let alone the family they actually wanted, because they were too driven by this masculine energy that they didn't have the balance that they needed. Marvin said, listen, Tim, you're going to be surprised. You're going to see a lot of this. And I was surprised. So anyway, how she broke the negative pattern. This is how Joey Murph helped her break this negative pattern, and how you can break the negative pattern yourself if you struggle with this. If you find yourself being more domineering and in charge, and have a partner that's become submissive to you when really you want it to be more equal footing, or you even want to be submissive sometimes, but feel like you can't. This is how you can break the pattern. The above mentioned woman learned a simple truth. When you believe you can have the type of man you idealize, of course, it could also be the type of woman you idealize, it is done unto you as you believe. The following is the specific prayer she used to break the old subconscious pattern and attract to her the ideal mate. Again, he's going to give a beautiful prayer here. This is not the kind of thing that you have to memorize. This is more like the vibe, as we've been saying in all these videos, right? And you can read this specifically, but it's more like capturing the vibe. Listen to this specific prayer. This is a beauty. This is what she used. The prayer was, I am building into my mentality the type of man I deeply desire. The man I attract for a husband is strong, powerful, loving, very masculine, successful, honest, loyal, and faithful. He finds love and happiness with me. I love to follow where he leads. I know he wants me, and I want him. I am honest, sincere, loving, and kind. I have wonderful gifts to offer him. They are goodwill, a joyous heart, and a healthy body. He offers me the same. It is mutual. I give and I receive. Divine intelligence knows where this man is, and the deeper wisdom of my subconscious mind is now bringing both of us together in its own way, and we recognize each other immediately. I release this request to my subconscious mind, which knows how to bring my request to pass. I give thanks for the perfect answer. She prayed in the above manner night and morning, affirming these truths and knowing that through frequent occupation of the mind, she would reach the mental equivalent of that which she sought. Let's unpack that a little bit. Wonderful passage, first of all. Again, this prayer that she said, full of ideal qualities that stirs your heart and mind, stirs your imagination, right? Murphy says she prayed in the above manner night and morning, okay? Now, again, what you can do, you can absolutely have this written out and read a prayer like this, contemplate, meditate on a prayer like this before bed and when you get up. Very powerful to do that. You can also, speak out loud or think to yourself along similar lines about the qualities you want in a partner until you feel them. Feel them. Don't just think them. You can start just by thinking them, but hopefully by reading a prayer like this or saying a prayer like this or something similar, you start to not only think about it, but feel it. And then you can meditate upon those qualities. Of course, you can do things like SATs where, if you're in bed while you're doing this, you imagine your partner's next to you, or you feel the wedding ring on your finger, etc. But the idea is to feel this, to have this, imbued in your subconscious, imbued in your imagination. Okay? And she revisited these high ideals, these qualities throughout the day until she saturated her mind with these ideals that she wanted in a partner, you know? And I love how, she said, you know, he, the gifts I have to offer him are goodwill, a joyous heart, a healthy body. He offers me the same. It is mutual. I give and I receive. When Marvin and I are talking to clients, this is what we're always talking about. Givingness, right? And naturally receiving from that. Just an openness. These high qualities, these wonderful ideals. Loving, powerful, successful, honest, loyal, faithful. Joey goes on to say the next section is called the answer to her prayer. So she's been doing this now, okay? This is her daily routine, right? And Murphy writes, several months went by. She had a great number of dates and social engagements, none of which were agreeable to her. Let's pause right there. Okay, so she's doing this routine every day. Is she just doing this routine and then sitting on her bum watching TV the rest of the time, wondering, where is my guy? Where's my guy? Oh, should I do more sats? Where's my guy? No, she is not. She is not. Oh, no. No, she's doing this wonderful prayer routine, and she's going out. She's interacting with people. She had a great number of dates and social engagements, okay? She's taking appropriate action, inspired action, despite what these silly people on YouTube and Reddit say, often is just appropriate action. In other words, it doesn't have to feel great while you're doing it, but if it's like, you know what? I know what I want. I know what I'm attracting. It makes sense for me to go out or to be online dating or to be in social situations just so I'm talking to more people in that energy of giving and listening, and having conversations. It makes sense for me to be doing this as opposed to just sitting on my butt waiting for something magic to happen and for the guy to pop out of the sky. Take appropriate action. That's exactly what she did. She had a great number of dates and social engagements, none of which were agreeable to her. Now, also, another important point here. Did she stop? Oh, I've been on a bunch of dates. I've been socializing with a bunch of people. My man hasn't showed up yet. I better give up. You know what? I'm going to just stop doing my routine because I'm down and out about this. I'm going to take a break. No! She knew. She prayed in the above manner, night and morning, affirming these truths and knowing that through frequent occupation of the mind, she would reach a mental equivalent of that which she sought. So she knew that. So here she was getting all this resistance in the 3-date, a great number of dates, none of them panned out. Many social engagements, no hot leads. Did she stop? No. This is the stuff that is fucking important. Not enough people talk to you about it. Talk to Marvin and I. We will hammer it home into your head lovingly until you get it. Okay? Just like Joey Murph did with this woman. So here we go. Murphy writes, when she was about to question, waver, doubt, and vacillate. Is that how you say that? Vacillate. I never know how to pronounce that. She reminded herself that the infinite intelligence was bringing it to pass in its own way, and there was nothing to be concerned about. Okay? So she faced the resistance. She felt the resistance. She felt the doubt, perhaps the fear of it not working. But she told herself, and it was probably much easier to tell herself because she had a routine that she did each day. She told herself things are going to work out in their own wonderful way. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, will take care of this situation. And her routine, being grounded in her routine, grounded in the belief and expectation that this was going to happen, made it possible for her to face this resistance and move right through it. Again, this is what we always are talking to people about, especially clients, all part of the process. Murphy goes on to say, her final decree in her divorce proceedings, this is from her second husband, was granted, which brought her a great sense of release and mental freedom. Okay? So this is an interesting, event in the 3D. She's been doing this stuff for a while, a couple months, feeling better about the situation, more expectant. In the 3D, nothing's happened. There's been resistance. She hasn't met the right guy. Then finally, in part, for sure, because of her daily routine, her wonderful daily routine, something happens in the 3D that really makes her feel different and better. And that was, the divorce proceedings were finalized. And this brought her a great sense of release and mental freedom. Murphy says, shortly afterward, she went to work as a receptionist in a doctor's office. Okay. She told me that the minute she saw the physician, she knew he was the man she was praying about. Apparently, he knew it too because he proposed to her the first week she was in the office. And their subsequent marriage was ideally happy. This physician was not the passive or submissive type, but was a real man, a former football player, an outstanding athlete, and was a deeply spiritual man, although he was completely devoid of any sectarian or denominational affiliation. She got what she prayed for because she claimed it mentally, until she reached the point of saturation. In other words, she mentally and emotionally united with her idea, and it became a part of her in the same way that an apple that's eaten becomes a part of her bloodstream. So, did she end up meeting her SP by going out on dates or social engagements? Was it the way she thought it might happen in the 3D? No. She went to work at a new place as a receptionist, and she met her husband, who was the physician. That's often how it works, guys. You take, appropriate action, like going out there, putting yourself out there, and then you meet your SP in a situation you would never expect. And she had done this inner work, and the thing is, she'd done this inner work. She had built this expectancy and conviction it was going to happen, this belief. She knew it would be her belief, her positive, imaginative belief would be done unto her. And then she knew. She basically knew right away that this was the guy when she met him that she'd been praying about. And he knew it too. And bam, it happened super quickly. They're engaged within a week. And she had been the guy he had been the guy she'd been waiting for. So, Joey Murphy for the win. This is the real SP work. Great example. We will continue with this course. The previous episodes, or whatever we want to, previous videos of the course are below in the description. Again, if you want a free short consultation with Marvin and I, the questionnaire to fill out to schedule that is in the description. If you have questions for me, I can be reached at info@radicalcounselor.com. You're the real SP. Time to start acting like it.